You're watching the SEC on ESPN. And what a matchup we've got for you tonight as we welcome you to the jungle. Neville Arena is rocking. The Tigers are hot. They've got a great team. And the Kentucky Wildcats have come to town to try to slow down this Auburn Express.
And building team chemistry.
And ready and underway, the tip of our Sonic blockbuster matchup here at Neville Arena. Auburn and white controlling the opening tip. This is Trey Donaldson, who has been starting at the point in recent weeks for the Tigers.
Kentucky going man-to-man. They want to put pressure on the ball and try to be the aggressor, and they force a turnover.
In this game for the Wildcats, suffered a shoulder injury, came out of their last game. Adu Thiero starts in his place.
Without Trey Mitchell, he's the connector of this Kentucky team. And I think the most indispensable player. He's their leading rebounder, leading offensive rebounder. That's a big loss for the Wildcats.
A nice baseline cut, and Justin Edwards.
And those are the three guys that you cannot leave and must find immediately.
Janai Broom, one of the best big men in the country. And what about it with Ugonna Onyenso coming off a 10-block game? But Broom spit. Again, the backdoor cut. Edwards can't get open. The arrow finds Onyenso. They need him for defense. They'll take any offense he can give them. Well, turnaround jumper no by Jones.
Kentucky doing a pretty good job thus far in making Auburn take the shot Kentucky wants them to take.
And a good start for Justin Edwards.
Right now with this Kentucky lineup, Auburn wants to be concerned primarily with Reed Sheppard and with Rob Dillingham.
Dillingham lays it in, and Kentucky's lead. Dillingham can't turn the corner. Good job by Cardwell. The arrow puts it on the deck. Onyenso down with a rebound. Dillingham rises up for a three, and it's 11-2. Won't go down for Chaney Johnson. And Auburn's got one field goal in 6 minutes. Dillingham off the glass, no, and the whistle blows, and a foul will send him to the line.
He gets it off quickly, and a dynamic athlete.
Tremendous speed, shoots the ball very well. Missed both free throws.
Play pick and pop. He can play pick and roll, handles the ball well.
The arrow to the bench. Jordan Burks has checked in, and a three for Chad Baker-Mazara, and that'll get the fans going again. Reeves puts it on the deck, gets to the bucket, blocked by Baker-Mazara. Behind the back, and then behind the back, one time too many. Reeves, they've got numbers, and a foul by
Special situation.
And about anybody getting in foul trouble as much as most other coaches.
Well, very few teams.
Cardwell back to Holloway. Holloway had been starting. Bruce Pearl flip-flop he and Donaldson from bench to starter a few weeks ago. What a great move underneath by Stuffed. Dillingham will try again, and it's Auburn ball.
Well, how about that vertical contest at the rim?
Holloway blocked from behind by Bradshaw. Williams cleans it up. And Holloway runs it down, puts it up. Cardwell the rebound. Williams for three. Frenetic action here at Auburn. Wagner off the glass, and Johnson almost lost it. Now he did.
They can't show the ball like that.
And Reeves in transition with a three. The lead grows for A, since it's Auburn, but it's pronounced outlive, and it's all about outliving this dreaded disease. We'll tell you more about it, but right now he's not very happy with the way his team is playing.
Well, he can't be happy with the turnovers. That while they've forced a couple, they've given up the ball way too many times.
Virginia goes to Blacksburg. That is something else. And then Kansas State and Texas at 9 Eastern. What a couple of years here at Auburn for Broom. 2 years at Morehead State, now in his second year with the Tigers. And he is without question an all-SEC performer. Onyenso, they're going to count the basket. and say that was goaltending. And Jay, Auburn scored 101 Wednesday night against South Carolina. They've got 9 in almost 12 minutes against Kentucky, which is not a gifted defensive team. What is going wrong at the offensive end for the Tigers?
Auburn is not running their offense with Pate gone behind his back in transition, where they get nothing out of it.
And they got all kinds of guys who can score. They average 83 points per game. A tutorial, a YouTube video on what is and isn't an up and under.
Basketball 101. And highlight shows they say up and under when a guy goes, underneath the basket. Jackknives. That's not what an up and under move is.
Broom, a nice look. Johnson passes it up. Jones will take it and hit it.
That's the kind of ball movement that Auburn wants to see. The ball goes into the post. It collapses the defense, and a great pass by Janai Broom.
They are top 10 in the nation in assist percentage as well. Ivisic the other, but right now appears to be on Yenso's time to shine for Kentucky.
Katie Johnson was wide open on that flex cut.
Don't you love big guys who run the floor? Janai Broom lays it in.
It's back to a 2-possession game. Auburn's out of bounds under defense is terrific.
The arrow muscles it up and in and draws the foul. With all the talent Kentucky has, you hear so much about the freshmen. You hear about the veteran. Gets by Moore, kicks it out.
He had a lane all the way to the basket for a layup.
And they turn it over, only to give it back. It's Shepard again.
Unbelievable.
Reeves up top. The arrow and a foul.
Unbelievable. Used to say it's not where the puck is, it's where it's going to be. But that pass ahead is next level. That's what led to that lob pass. The terrific steal and pass ahead. And there's an extra step on that ladder for a Duthie.
Double-digit lead, up by 12 on a couple of occasions for Kentucky. He's also had some games where he hasn't played at all, and this is a physical game. He just got away with holding Broom right away, and then Broom went around him and scored.
Well, that's a good Broom.
At both ends already. Dillingham pulls up. And here comes Donaldson for the Tigers. And Dillingham called for the reach-in foul.
His defense in basketball, the way he backpedals, the way he reads the eyes of the passer.
In Columbia at noon, and speaking of all kinds of excitement in women's basketball,
it's good news.
Cardwell, and it'll go.
Really important, not just for Auburn, but it's important for Kentucky not to give up.
The arrow giving Kentucky some really good minutes in this one. Won't get the shot off over Cardwell. Shepard off the glass and good.
Reed Shepard is such a good player, always under control. Ridiculous.
And he gives you 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.5 steals per game as well.
Other than that, what does he do, really?
Baker Mazar, a lot of dribbling.
Good pass.
Jones is open and hits.
And that's where Kentucky can't fall asleep on the backside.
And a foul at the other end. Cardwell does not agree.
But look.
And I know about 9,100 people who are 88%. This is something that Bruce Pearl did a little bit in the game against South Carolina, and he wants more experience, more size to defend some of these talented Kentucky guards. San Diego State to a junior college last year who want to be at Auburn. And when he recruits players, he says, listen, you might. Reeves baseline, cut off. Somehow found Dillingham. Gets it back and hits it.
Boy, in a broken play. Auburn did a good job running.
Reeves, you've got 3 elite shooters out there at the same time right now for Kentucky.
A couple of point-blank opportunities for Janai Broom when Onyenso went for that block shot on Jalen Williams. That opens up the offensive glass.
Dillingham with a full head of steam. It somehow goes, and the Kentucky lead move. Dillingham gathers. Now he's got to get rid of it. They've still got plenty of time. And Katie Johnson called for foul number 3.
I don't know if Kentucky has handled it very well.
Yeah. And I think it was earlier, 43-2 here the last 3 years. And away from the ball, a call against Kentucky. This one, I believe, going on Reeves.
But I think overall, John Calipari likes the result.
You and I have seen a lot of Kentucky.
He actually said to his team, like, think about what other teams are doing to you. And
to go in the first half. Dillingham off a screen. Tough shot, and it goes. And Rob Dillingham is making some tough ones here at Auburn.
Tough shots for others. Those aren't tough shots for Rob Dillingham.
He's into double figures, the first player in double figures in this game. Holloway fouled on a three-point attempt.
Aiden Holloway.
But as the shooting struggles persisted and got worse.
Shooter as far as three-point field goals made. But he...
And Kentucky basically can hold for the last shot of the half. John Calipari will use the use it or lose it timeout. Wildcats on the road here in hostile territory.
That John Calipari can look at and say, look, you can do this. You've got it in you. You've shown it. And build from here.
2-second difference, game clock and shot clock.
Just a little weave action to move the defense, and now they'll get into something.
Dillingham wants Onienso to set the ball screen. Onienso gets it back, kicked it out, and they'll turn it over with 2.9 seconds. Baker Mazzara gets it off in time. Pretty good effort, but it will not go as the first half comes to a close. Reeves the floater. And Onienso runs down the loose ball. Going to work on Broom and somehow scored over him. Looked like he had his back to the basket when he did it.
Middle of the lane, and any good big guy's going to score. Another turnover.
Wagner, and Donaldson bumps him. And will they give him a couple of shots?
They're going to take a look at it.
They're going to look at it to see if this should be upgraded to a flagrant one. The officials are going to have a look to see if it should be upgraded to a flagrant one right there. And I think
that's not a flagrant one.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know, Jay.
Well,
I think
maybe.
that is. I think that's a flagrant one.
Mouth then brought it back and just lowered his shoulder.
Pretends to low five a couple of imaginary wild. Wagner. And Onienso just a lot bigger than Katie Johnson, but give Johnson credit for battling and keeping it alive. Now he's open. And Broom is fouled and will go to the line.
Boy, what a great job by Katie Johnson. Undersized going against Onienso.
Just to see if a pass would have been credited. Third foul on Andy.
Around for steals. If you're aware of where he is.
The arrow driving. What a rebound by Broom. Brought it down with one hand. Here comes Auburn. Baker Mazzara. And a foul. And he will go to the free throw line.
Boy, why would you foul there? Position to foul.
Made them both. Crowd giving it everything they've got. And not much going on right now for Kentucky at the offensive end. Wagner tries to make something happen, and he draws a foul.
And you just can't foul him. Janai Broom is back.
Kind of working his way back from an ankle injury, the peak level it was at before whatever the injury was.
Well, Kentucky's had no continuity this season. What, have they had one game with every player available? And that was, I think, against Ole Miss.
Yeah, that was the last game, and then Mitchell didn't finish the game. In Kentucky history, Nerlens Noel had a
deflected lob passes. And they gave him blocks.
They held Ole Miss to 63 on Tuesday. Auburn's only got 34 right now. Good defense by Jones. Good cut by Edwards, but it's knocked away.
Tight window.
Johnson up and in. Shepard. Tough one. Bouncing around, and Shepard's got it again. Wow. Bodies are flying. Wow. And Fierro flushes it.
But Kentucky, even though it was chaotic, Adu Fierro, the man on the spot, dunks right over Chad Baker-Mazara
in this game.
And the full court pressure isn't necessarily to cause a turnover. It's just to lift the energy of this team and get them in that aggressive mindset.
Boy, Chad Baker-Mazara with a tough baseline floater. Shepard going for the long bomb, the touchdown pass, and it's off the leg of Fierro back to the Tigers.
Yeah, Fierro.
Ball screen to free up Wagner. Stolen away by Johnson. Oh, and somehow he managed to get that in.
In control from the opening tap.
Kentucky only turned it over 4 times in the first half, 5 already in the second half. Johnson sees a lane, blocked, but the follow good for Broom.
Good defense by K.D. Johnson on Dillingham to take away that shot.
Shot clock at 5. Reeves scoops it up and in.
Well, Antonio Reeves has one of the best floaters in college basketball. That time he got all the way to the rim. And Kentucky handling the Auburn pressure much better after that timeout where John Calipari could get them refocused.
Holloway burst to speed and he
has cancer. Kentucky switching those exchanges, and boy, Jalen Williams had that ball going to the basket. Kentucky knocked it away.
Reeves scoops it up and in. Not an up and under, but he worn down, but Kentucky hasn't been getting worn down.
Kentucky going to a floppy set where Antonio Reeves can work off screens. Once he gets underneath the basket, he chooses which way to go, and you have to give him a direction.
Johnson the foul on Fierro. Double 9 Eastern to Monday night on ESPN. And the
little flex look right now. A cut across the bottom and then a screen for the screener.
Cardwell fouled.
That's a staple of Bruce Pearl's career. That flex action above the rim finisher, but got fouled there.
4 blocks per game this year. Cardwell's in there on the perimeter. K.D. Johnson got it to go. Boy, he's had a couple of big buckets. Reeves inside and a driving layup and a foul.
Boy, that floppy action so difficult to guard. You're trailing Antonio on offense that John Calipari wants to see from his team. Donaldson the better defender. Holloway the better scorer.
Reeves gets rid of it in a hurry and buries it.
That's just, they're sticking with this floppy action. If Auburn's going to switch this, the big guys are going to be open.
Wagner slipped and a foul called on the Tigers.
Defensively. I mean, at first I thought I'd say, okay, the arc will miss. But coming into this environment, and this has been really impressive, especially without Trey Mitchell in the lineup with that shoulder injury. This has been really impressive by Kentucky.
Auburn got it down to 5. Kentucky going on a big run. Janai Broom with a 10 to shoot. Reeves knocks down another one. He can't miss right now.
That floater, what, he's got 20 now?
Yep.
That floater got an amazing sense for the ball.
Reeves driving on Chaney Johnson. Can't get this one to go, but got it back and lays it in.
Like Broom and Onyenso going for that ball almost to
the back, puts the brakes on. Rebound Broom. Baker-Mazara will shoot 3.
Well, he's saying he kicked his leg. Reed
Oh, really?
saying he kicked his leg out.
Baker-Mazara follows his free throw. Made all three.
Some time here, but Auburn has to be efficient and get a score. Can't keep coming away with empty possessions.
Jones for three. Got it! And it's a 10-point game. Not the only factor, obviously, but Ugonna Anienso getting a bigger role, anchoring that defense. How big of a factor is that in their overall defensive improvement?
Well, it gives you confidence as a defender that you can take some chances, get out on the floor and guard, because if your man gets by you.
For twos, less than 3 minutes to go.
They're staying with the top perimeter threats.
Down to 8.
There goes Reeves down under the basket. So he gets to choose which screen he wants to come off of.
Instead, it's a beautiful find to Thiero.
But we talked about it earlier. You give help on Antonio Reeves coming off those screens, and the big guys are going to be open. And that was just a beautiful read to get it to Adu Thiero wide open.
Jones switches hands and draws the foul.
But Kentucky's made this a quiet building.
It's hard to 7% of Kentucky's minutes this year have been played by freshmen, like the guy with the ball and Reed Shepard, Rob Dillingham.
And to have Reeves and Shepard and Dillingham, really good free throw shooters, that's comforting down the stretch when you're trying to protect a lead.
And they've done a great job, too, using the clock on these possessions. A foul called on Janai Broom.
And Auburn's getting front.
They need a score, and they need it quick. They got to get something going quicker than this. Jones, and he'll draw the foul on Thiero to get himself to the free throw line. High scores for the Tigers with 14 apiece. Now a dozen for Jones to get it down to 7.
A good job by Thiero to get it out of that corner trap right away to Reed Shepard. Janai Broom on Antonio Reeves. You gotta let Reeves just take it.
Dillingham off to Thiero, who is fouled.
And they went to foul him.
At 7 Eastern.
Now, John Calipari has said, and first time I heard him say it was around the Ole Miss game, that this Kentucky team is built for March. And he knows their offense is national championship good. But with this kind of defensive effort, was not a good defensive team. But this is a different team the last week than we've seen the first 20 games of the season.
Johnson nearly took it away from Wagner as we enter the final minute of regulation.
Yeah, Kentucky's just salting this away. There's not enough time.
They've done a great job down the stretch here handling the ball. Shepard. They didn't score, but they used 29 seconds.
Exactly.
And a turnover. And Shepard knows they don't need a basket. They're just going to move the ball, hold it. And this one is academic right now. Boy, the energy in this place at the beginning of the game, coming off the huge win Tuesday over South Carolina. No Trey Mitchell for Kentucky, but give Anienso and the freshmen and everybody who suited up in blue tonight a heck of a lot of credit. Kentucky earned this one.
Well, we said that they had to come ready for a fight, and Kentucky came ready for a fight and took advantage of it.
Auburn, you saw there, just 31% from the floor in this game. And that'll do it. An impressive road victory for Kentucky, the first home loss this season for the Auburn Tigers. A big win on the road for the Wildcats, 70-59 over Auburn tonight. Really as impressive a performance probably as they have had all season.